everyone, welcome back to the Math Society. So this week we'll be continuing to do chapter 11, but chapter 11 is going to be divided into two parts. So we'll be doing part 1 of the past paper questions and part 2 in the next week. So let's get right into it. Okay, so now we'll start with question 1. So in question 1, it says given that the first three terms in the expansion of 3 minus ax the whole power of 5 in ascending powers of x can be written in the form. So they've already given you the form. You just need to find the value of a, b, and c. So it means we need to find the first three terms of this. So it's 3 minus ax powered 5. So the first one's going to be 3 power 5. And then that's minus 5c1 3 power 4. And then that's multiplied with just ax. And then that is plus 5c2, and then it's 3 power 3, and multiply a squared and another x squared. So then you'll get 3 power 5, which is 243 minus, and 5c1 3 power 4 is going to be 405 ax. And then plus 5c2 3 cubed, so it's 278 square x squared. So we can see that here, because it says b, so we know that b is equals to 243. And then for 81x, so 81 is equal to 405a, right? So if you want a, it's just 81 by 405, which we will get 1 by 5. And then we just need to find c x squared c. So it's 270 a squared is equal to c. So we know what the a value is, which is 1 by 5. That's the whole square. Also c, it's going to be 270 divided by 25, because 5 squared is 25. C equals to 5455. And that's your values of a, b, and c. Okay, so now we'll continue with number 2. It says to find the first three terms as well, and then give each term in the simplest form. So we're going to find the first three terms. It is 4 minus x by 16, the whole power 6. So that's going to be 4 power 6, because it's minus, and it's going to be 61 multiply 4 power 5 multiply x by 16. It's going to be plus 62 multiply 4 power 4 multiply x squared by 16 squared. So then 4 power 6 is going to be 4096 minus 61, 4 power 5, 384x divided by 16, and plus it's going to be 15x squared. So that's your first three terms. And then we'll go to B. So hence find the independent of x in the expansion of 4 minus x by 16 the whole power x minus 1 by x squared. So we'll need to get this one first. So it is 4096 minus 384x plus 15x squared. And with that one, we're going to multiply with x minus 1 by x the whole square. So it's going to be 4096 minus 384x plus 15x squared. And then x squared minus 2 plus 1 by x squared. And then you're going to multiply them. So it's going to be 4096. That's going to multiply by minus 2 plus 15. And that's going to equal to minus 8,177. And that is your independent term x. Okay, so now we'll continue with number 3. So it says to expand as well, simplify each coefficient. So it's not the first three terms anymore. We have to simplify for all the 5 terms. So first of all, it is given that 2 minus x power 5, the whole power 5, that's what equals to 2 power 5. Because it's minus 5c1, 2 power 4, and then x, and it's going to be plus 5c2, 2 power 3, and then x squared minus 5c3, that's going to be 2 power squared, x power cube, plus 5c4, that's going to be 2, and then x power 4, and that's going to be minus x power 5 because it's the last term. And 2 power 5, that's going to be 32, minus it's going to be 80x plus 5c2 to cube, 80x squared, minus 40, and it's going to be x cubed, plus 10x power 4, and then minus x power 5. So this is going to be the simplified version of the coefficient, and it says hence solve e power 2 minus x whole power 5. So we know that if the bases are together, we can just like minus or add them together. So let's try to simplify this first. E power 2 minus x, right? E power 32 minus 80x plus 80x squared minus 40x cubed plus 10x4 minus x power 5. And that's going to be multiplied by e power 80x divided by e power 10 x power 4 plus 32. That's going to equal e power minus x power 5. So because we have the same basis, we can, because it multiplies, we plus them together and divide, we minus the power. So it's going to be e power 32 minus 80x plus 80x squared minus 40x cubed plus 10x power 4 minus x power 5 plus 80x minus 10x power 4 plus minus 32, and that's going to equal to e power minus x power 5. So then we have 32 minus 80 plus 80, and then it's going to be plus 10x power 4 minus 10x power 4. So we have 80x squared minus 40x cubed minus x power 5, and that is going to equal to minus x power 5 as well. So if you move this one, it's just going to cancel them out. So that's going to be 80x squared. Oh, sorry, 80x squared minus 40x cubed, and that's going to equal to 0. So we can divide it. So it's going to be 2x squared minus x cubed equals to 0. I'll just write this way just to make it easier. Equals to 0. And then it's going to be, if you take out x squared, it's going to be x minus 2. That's equals 0. So x squared is equal to 0. So it's going to be x equal to 0. Or x minus 2 is equal to 0. And x becomes equal to 2. And that's going to be 2 of your x values. Okay, so now on to question 4. So it says to find the term independent of x. So the one that does not have an x in it, and binomial expression of 3x minus 1 by x to the whole power 6. So it's going to be 3x minus 1 by x to the whole power 6. So firstly, 3x, that's going to be the whole power 6 plus 6c1 3x to the whole power 5, and then it's going to be 1 by x. So even if you divide here, you'll still get x power 4. So that's not correct. And then going to be, wait, this one has to be minus plus 6c2 3x power 4. Now you have 1 by x the whole square, so that's still going to be 2. And then you minus, you'll have 6c3. Then it's going to be 3x power cube, and then 1 by x the whole power cube. So here is we have the same. If it's x cube divided by x cube, then you're not gonna get any x, right? So we just need to calculate this. So it's going to be 63. So it's going to be 63 multiplied 3 power cube. So that's just going to be, because there's a negative here, it's going to be negative minus 540. So that's going to be the term that is independent of x. Yep. And then we'll go on to B. So I think this one says to not use a calculator, yeah? So it says that in the expansion of 1 plus x by 2 the whole power n, the coefficient of x power 4 is half the coefficient of x power 6. So we have to find the value of positive constant n. So firstly, we know that 1 plus x by 2 the whole power n, when we expand it, it's going to be 1 power n plus nc1. And that's going to be, once it's going to be 1, so it's just x by 2, and then this one's multiplied f plus nc2, and you just have x squared by n squared as well. And then because we know that it says like x power 4, so it's going to be nc4 multiply 1 by 2 power 4, and that's going to be half of x power 6, so that's going to be NC6 multiply 1 by 2 power 6. So then, because it's NC4, we know that it's going to be n factorial divided by n minus 4 factorial multiply 4 factorial, and that's 1 by 2 power 4 is 1 by 16. Is it the same? 1 by 2 multiply n factorial n minus 6 factorial multiply 6 factorial multiply 1 by 64. So if you want to divide, you have n, you're going to cancel them out. This one becomes 4. So it's going to be 1 by, so n minus 4 factorial is n minus 4, n minus 5, n minus 6. And it just goes on, right? And that's multiplied with the 24. And that's equal to 24 by 2 multiply. Oh, this is, wait, I'll expand it more as well. 1 by 2 multiply n minus 6 factorial. So it's going to be n, if it's n minus 6 factorial, so n minus 6, n minus 7, and goes on and on and on. And that's going to multiply with 720 multiply 4 because it's factorial. And then because it's n minus 4, you can cancel these one out. So you have 1 by n minus 4, and then n minus 5. And then 24, you go that way. So it's going to be 24 by, here you have 2 left. 2 multiply 720 multiply 4. So then you'll have 1 by n minus 4, n minus 5. Solve this, and you'll get 1 by 240. So now we have n minus 4, n minus 5, and that one equals to 240 because they're both in the denominator area. And then I'll just write here. So n, you multiply them, n squared minus 5, n minus 4, n plus 20 minus 240 is going to equal 0. N squared minus 9n minus 220 equals 0, 0. So you'll do the square method, 220, so it's 20 and 11. So it's going to be n minus 20, and then n minus 11, n plus 11 goes to 0, n equals to 20, or n will equals to negative 11. Because it's negative, we need to reject it. So after all, your n is going to be just n equals to 20. Okay, so now we're off to question number 5. So it says to find the coefficient of x squared in the expansion of x minus 3 by x, x plus 2 by x, the whole power 5. So we'll try to expand this one first, which is x plus 2 by x, the whole power 5 here. And then x power 5 plus 5c1, x power 4, 2 by x, right, plus 5c2, multiply x cubed, and multiply 2 by x, the whole square, which is going to be 4 by x squared, and it's going to be plus, just right here, 5c3, x squared, 2 cubed, 8 by x cubed, plus 5c4, x plus, oh, sorry, multiply 2 power 4, that's going to be 16 by x power 4, and then plus the last one, 5, so x power, 2 power 5 should be 32 by x power 5, so that's our expansion of that. So we just simplify it, x power 5 plus 10 power x cubed, and it's going to be plus 40x, and then 5c4, that's going to be 80 by x, and then 5c4, 80 by x cubed, and then plus 32 by x power 5. So that's your expansion of the power 5 bracket. And you're going to multiply with x minus 3 by x, and then that's x power 5 plus 10 power x cubed plus 40x plus 80 by x plus 80 by x cubed plus 32 by x power 5. So because we know this, we need to find that we have x and x, and we just want the expansion of x squared. So we have x here, so we know that if we multiply by another x, that's going to be x squared, right? So for another x, we have another x here, so which is 40. So the coefficient of of x squared. That's going to be 40 right now. And then you have 3 by x. 3 by x, if you multiply with, if you divide it with x cubed, you'll get, you get x squared as well. So that's what we're going to do. So that's where you get, because it's minus 3 by x, it's going to be 40 minus 3 multiplied 10. So that's how you get 10. 40 minus 30, and that's it. So your coefficient of x squared is going to be just 10. Okay, so now we're off to question number 6. So it says that give the coefficient of x squared in the expansion of 1 plus x, 1 minus x by 2, the whole power of n is 25 by 4. And then you need to find the value of the positive integer n as well. So we know that it's 1 plus x and 1 minus x squared, the whole power n. And that is going to go as like 1 power n and then multiply, 1 power n minus NC1, that's going to be 1 power n again. So it's multiply x by 2 because 1 power n is probably just going to be 1 again, plus NC2, and it's just x squared by 4. So that's how it's going to go. And we only want the coefficient of x squared, so we can just leave it at here for now. And we go that 1 plus x, and then you have 1 minus x by 2, the whole power n, and then 1 plus x. And we've already expanded, which is 1 power n minus NC1 x by 2 plus NC2, and that's x squared by 4. And because we only want x squared, we have x here. So if this x multiplies with this x, we're going to get x squared. If this 1 multiplies with here, x squared, that's already there, then we're going to get x squared. So we already know how we're going to get x squared. So we just give coefficient of x squared. And that's going to be NC2 first because it's multiplied by 2 by 1 by 4. And then that is minus NC1, and that's 1 by 2. So then we know that if it's n, it's going to be the same with 25 by 4. So 25 by 4, and that's equals to n factorial. We know it's n minus 2 factorial. And then multiply 2 factorial multiplied by 4. That's going to be minus n factorial, same thing, and minus 1 factorial, multiply 2. So then we have it as n factorial, and then n minus 2 factorial, and that's going to be like 8, multiply with the 8, we multiply it, so you get 8 minus n factorial, n minus 1 factorial, and it's multiplied by 2, and that's 25 by 4. Okay, so now we want to take off this 4, so we're just going to multiply it by 8. So we multiply 8, 4, and 4, 4, 2, 25. That's going to be 50. And there's n root, and it's going to change the 8 as well here. So it's going to be just n minus 2 factorial. And then minus 4n factorial. And then it's going to be n minus 1 factorial. So then we know that 50 is going to equal to n. Multiply n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, and then so on, right? And n minus 2 factorial down is also n minus 2, and then it's going to be n minus 1, go on. And then we have minus 4, n factorial, so 4, n, and it's going to be n minus 1, and then it's going to go on, and then you have this n minus 1 factorial, so n minus 1 multiply, and it's going to go on. So you can cancel these two out, so you'll have 4n here, and here, and minus 2, you can cancel these out. So you have n and n minus 1. So you're going to have 50 equals to n squared minus n, and then here you have 4n minus 4n, that's equal to 50. So n squared minus n minus 4n, that's equal to 50, just writing it down. And then you'll have n squared minus 5n minus 50 is going to equal to 0. So it's just going to be 5 and 10. So we know that's going to be n minus 10, or it's going to be n plus 10. I'm sorry, n plus 5 equals 0. So it's going to be n equals to 10, or n equals to minus 5. We know that if it's negative, we need to reject it. So then our n value is just going to be n equal to 10. Okay, so now for question 7, it says that the first 3 terms in the expansion of this are 32 minus 2 or 8x plus cx squared. Find the value of each of the integers a, b, and c. So we just need to firstly expand this one first. So it's a plus b x the whole power 5, right? And that's 1 plus x. So we're going to expand this one first. So it's going to be a power 5 multiply. It's going to be 5c1, a power 4, bx. Sorry, not multiply. That should be plus. And then plus 5c2 multiply. It just says the first 3 terms, yeah? So we just need to find the first 3. So 5c2 multiply a power 3, and that's going to be b squared and x squared. So that's just the first 3 terms we need, and that's going to multiply by 1 plus x. So let's try to simplify this. A power 5 plus 5 a power 4 bx plus 10 a cubed b squared x squared. And that's after that, it's going to be multiplied with 1 plus x. And we know that they've already given that it is equal to 32 minus 208x plus cx squared. So we have equals to a power 5. Let's multiply them now. So it's a power 5 plus x. So that's going to be a power 5x. And then it's going to be 5a power 4 bx plus 5a power 4 bx squared plus, and then another one's just going to be 10a cubed b square x square. Oh, sorry, to a power cube. Yeah, b square x square. X square, because we don't need to find the x cube anymore because we only want cx square, right? So you can save your time not writing it. And you have a power 5 equals to 32. A is just going to be 2. And it's a power 5 plus 5a power 4b, and that's equal to minus 208. So a power 5, 32, plus a power 4 is going to be like, you multiply with 5, so it's 2 power 4 multiply 5, which is going to be 80b. Let's go minus 208, and then you'll have 80b minus it, minus 240. B is going to go to minus 3. And C as well, we have 5a power 4b plus 10a cubed b squared. And that's equal to C. 5a power 4, so it's just going to be, just multiply them, minus 240 plus, and then you just multiply them as well, 720. So C is just going to equal to 480. So that's how you get your A, B, and C values. Yep. And that's it for today's video, and I'll see you in the next week of chapter 11, the part 2 series.